Love, it can mean many different things. It can take on many different shapes and sizes. Love can be shared across all ages, all races, all backgrounds. Love knows no limits and no restrictions, although some question if love is even real at all. I used to be one of these people, far too cynical and wary to believe, far too self-aware, far too critical of the mainstream. But even though I'd never experienced it myself, I'd definitely seen love before. And I often hoped that maybe one day I'd find it too. And maybe I would find the one for me, the one person I could truly feel at home with, the one person I could truly be myself around, the one person I could share my life with, the moments that I'd cherish forever. And each and every time I see an elderly couple I smile, for it may just be the purest form of love. Even as they age and get wrinkles, that doesn't change anything. Love is undying, love is everlasting, and that to me is beautiful. 60 wedding anniversaries, 60 happy years. It's a life which many aspire for. It's a life which many would kill for. Just a chance to be loved, just a chance to be wanted, just a chance to belong. And I feel we all strive for this feeling, and who's to say that we can't feel this way? Everyone's human, and love is a human desire. And besides a display of white roses, she told me that one day the world would be mine, and I waited for that day. And I waited patiently for that day, and I waited agonizingly for that day to arrive. But then suddenly she resigned. Her love she shared with another. But still, that doesn't change anything. One bad encounter doesn't determine anything. Nothing is set in stone. The age-old line, there's plenty of fish in the sea. It speaks some truth. So even though at times I may be a cynic and my words hold little substance, I can safely, honestly conclude that love might be the most beautiful thing fathomable. And fathomable might not even be the word to describe it, for its true capabilities may be beyond our comprehension, and that is a truly beautiful thing.
Friday night and my friend David's place, and I looked around to see a generation lost in space. But there she was, stood beside the door with a drink in her hand. She made her way across the floor and she said, "Hey, what's your name?" And I said, "Isn't this strange, we've met before. What are you looking for?" Was she looking for a night of action, something to bring her satisfaction, or was she looking for something more? So I took her hand and danced with her for oh so many years. And as time flew by, the laughter we shared formed into tears. And she wrapped her arms around my soul and clung on for her life. I didn't know that we'd be facing such turmoil and strife. Oh Nancy, face, but suddenly everything fell back in place. It's not always. But I took her hand and danced with her for oh so many years. And as time flew by, the laughter we shared formed into tears. And she wrapped her arms around my soul and clung on for her life. I didn't know that we'd be facing such turmoil and strife. Oh Nancy, where's it going to end? Oh darling, I bought more than I can spend. Oh Nancy, won't you slow it down? Because lately you've been turning me inside out. Is it going to end? Oh darling, I bought more than I can spend. Oh Nancy, won't you slow it down? Because lately you've been turning me inside out. Wherefore art thou Romeo? You're going to be late for the show, and I know you'd like to know, how's it going to go? Just wait and see. Oh, wherefore art thou Juliet? She's just gotten out the shower and her hair is wet. She's the prettiest girl that you've ever met. But is she ready yet? Just wait and see. Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers, the Montagues and Capulets tried to keep them far away from each other. The scripture's just fiction. They don't know what they're missing. But now you've got to make a decision. Are you willing to change how you're living? Wherefore art thou Romeo? Oh, where on earth did you go? It's the only way you can grow. Just take your pride and show. Just wait and see. Wherefore art thou Juliet? with a sister on a lambrette. Is she still training to be a vet? Are you on your way? Yeah. Just wait and see. Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers, the Montagues and Capulets tried to keep them far away from each other. The scripture's just fiction. They don't know what they're missing. But now you've got to make a decision. Are you willing to change how you're living? Star-crossed lovers, the Montagues and Capulets tried to keep them far away from each other. The scripture's just fiction. They don't know what they're missing. But now you've got to make a decision. Are you willing to change how you're living? She stopped at my house today, holding in her hands a rich bouquet, and she said nothing. I was just waiting for her to open her mouth and say words of flattery, a gentle tapestry of my own. You don't know how it feels to love and live alone. And oh, I promise it isn't wishful thinking, it's only what I see. And if it shows that she doesn't want to be with me, then who's to blame? Where's the line where I shut everyone away? When the day arrives, oh, promise me that you will stay. It's been a couple of days and everything is looking strange. I pondered on the rooftop what is left of my love that remains. Is it all gone? Oh, tell me now, where on earth did I go wrong? It's all the same, but believe me, I'm sorry, it's really such a shame. And oh, I promise it isn't wishful thinking, it's only what I see. And if it shows that she doesn't want to be with me, then who's to blame? Where's the line where I shut everyone away? When the day arrives, oh, promise me that you will stay. the 1st of October, and it was hard to stay sober. I just wish I'd never told you how much I really cared. It was the 1st of October, and she was falling over, leaning on her shoulder. I just wish I never cared. And now it's hard to say how the things that happen shape who you are today. And now she's telling me what she wanted me to say. And now I'm not happy 'cause she's drowning out the pain. It was the 1st of October. Now tell me that it isn't over. You don't mean it 'cause you're sober. Drunk words speak only the truth. And now it's almost November. It was a night to remember, but now I'm not sure whether it was a false perception of you. And now it's hard to say how the things that happen shape who you are today. And now she's telling me what she wanted me to say. And now I'm not happy 'cause she's drowning out the pain. Here come the wedding bells. Everyone gather round. Today is a special day. We're here to celebrate two people whose love they found. It's time to say goodbyes. Come on, John, it's never all now. What's the worst that could happen? Come on now, make it happen. We are here on this special day to unite these young people today. But deep below the surface, the groom's feeling awfully nervous. He's feeling pretty low on love, and he's sweating bullets in his toes. So John and his best man Walter, they left Evelyn stood at the altar. The reception, it was up in a frenzy. No John, they didn't envy. It was every man for himself. Boy, was he praying for his health. It's time to say goodbyes. Come on, John, it's never all now. What's the worst that could happen? Come on now, make it happen. We are here on this special day to unite these young people today. But deep below the surface, the groom's feeling awfully nervous. He's feeling pretty low on love, and he's sweating bullets in his toes. So John and his best man Walter, they left Evelyn stood at the altar. below the surface. The wind's feeling awfully nervous. He's feeling pretty low on love, and he's sweating bullets in his toes. So John and his best man Walter, they left Evelyn stood at the hotel.
We walked along a narrow road, mere moments after our dear friend, that cowardly groom, fled the scene with his right-hand man. They left in the back of a car, never to be seen again, and some might say, good riddance. But I only say what's on my mind, and in my mind in that moment all I could do was send my condolences to the bride. She was young and ambitious, and she had big dreams, and they died on that day. They were flattened by the wheels of that car driving 90 down the freeway, never looking back, destroying everything in its path. We walked down that narrow road and onto a country lane where we held the bride upright, for she was not herself that day. She was a two-man job for certain, but eventually we managed to get her home safely. And as I walked through the kitchen to make her some tea, I couldn't help but spot there on the counter a photograph framed in gold, a photograph and an old watch. These two things that seemed so insignificant, but at the same time painted the clearest picture, painted on the canvas in the very centre of my consciousness. And I examined my surroundings in fleeting thoughts, trying to piece everything together. And then I heard you call my name. She's resting now, you said, and I believed you. That was your first of many white lies, whiter than the roses on the nightstand, that you so very much insisted we buy for her as a wedding present. And as we headed out the door and shut it behind us, it all became so much clearer to me, for the door was not the only thing behind us, but so was the past 5 months of my life, the past 5 months I'd spent with you without even a second thought. And so I hope you remember, for I will never forget those days we spent together. They were the moments that I'll cherish forever, even when we were soaking wet in the back of a taxi, fleeing from the home of a jilted bride too manic to even function. But all in all, I was happy that day was finally behind us.
Lay my head down on the grass, I look into your eyes. I wish I could stay here forever, but time moves forward in motion. No reduce or redemption inside. What's this conversation? How can I speak those words to you without stumbling over them? I'm lost in the moment, I'm stranded in a lie that I built for it to end. I needed a grand gesture, something to make her smile. I hoped I could win her over and make it worth her while. I searched for hours and hours to find her favourite flowers, left them at the door, and I ran for miles and miles. Alone on a Sunday morning, bored out of my mind. What's done is done, I cannot erase time as much as I really wish I could. if I should. I needed a grand gesture, something to make her smile. I hoped I could win her over and make it worth her while. I searched for hours and hours to find her favourite flowers, left them at the door, and I ran for miles and miles. And I reached for the door. I'm at a loss for words. I feel the sweat dripping from every pore. The roses on my chest that I bought you from the shop. I could see you from the window. Why didn't you tell him to stop? And never again will I ever let you go. You've hit me while I'm down, when I needed you the most. The days we spent together, did they mean anything to you? Oh darling, I'm broken, won't you tell me what to do? Oh no, what have you done? You've only gone and rinsed it all away, like my teardrops on the pavement on the day I wish you'd stay in my arms. Now you're locked in his embrace, and now all that remains on your doorstep is a wilted bouquet. You'd left the lights on, I saw your silhouette so clear. I saw he held you and he whispered in your ear words of charm and inquisition. And darling, hear me now, I wouldn't want to be in your position. Oh, never again will I ever let you close. You've hit me while I'm down, when I needed you the most. The days we spent together, did they mean anything to you? Oh darling, I'm broken, won't you tell me what to do? Oh no, what have you done? You've only gone and rinsed it all away, like my teardrops on the pavement on the day I wish you'd stay in my arms. Now you're locked in his embrace, and now all that remains on your doorstep is a wilted bouquet. No, I don't want to hear what you've got to say. Dead flowers on the doorstep, they're rotting away. Dead flowers on the doorstep, they're rotting away. Dead flowers on the doorstep, they're rotting away. Dead flowers on the doorstep, why'd you have to grow it all away? said something profound again. She never knew when to shut her mouth. She'd always done what she was told, but now things were really going south. We stayed out late under the stars. We dreamed of Jupiter and Mars, but never did she say what she was feeling. I had no clue with what I was dealing. She packed her bags and moved cross country, and David, he lent her a bit of money. If only he knew what I had seen, maybe then he'd just come fucking clean. They both went and left Lucy behind. She was torn and crushed and beaten up inside. I'd given her a shoulder to cry on, and she was willing to let bygones be bygones. But I never thought the day would come where I'd be standing here, dragging your name in the dirt, because my ego and my pride have both been hurt. Oh Nancy, you're a domestic vandal, taking part in a great American scandal. Pounded on the door and waited for an answer. I heard her stumble through the hallway, though she'd never been a dancer. And she looked straight into my eyes, and as I said those words to her, she said, "You're telling me fucking lies." And so I sat her down and held her tightly, and being there with her made me feel slightly less concerned about my squalor. But then suddenly she was undoing my collar. I was dragging your name in the dirt, because my ego and my pride have both been hurt. Oh Nancy, you're domestic vandal, taking part in a great American scandal. Oh, what have I done? I've broken her poor heart and left her frying in the sun. I was dragging the name in the dirt, because my ego and my pride have both been hurt. Oh Nancy, you're a domestic vandal, taking part in a great American scandal. couch and she's laying right there. I thought this is way too much for me to bear. I felt a heartbeat in my chest and it was not right. She didn't need me, she's already putting up a fight. And what's left and who's to blame? Cause at the end of the day everything's still the same. And I'm done, my head is falling apart, and I just wanna go back to the start. Your sister Lucy, she lives all on her own. She drives a Beamer and has a mobile phone. I often wonder, does she ever feel alone? Oh, how must it feel to work yourself down to the bone? And there we were on the bed. A million thoughts passing through my head, and deep down I know that this is wrong, but I haven't seen her face in so long. Your sister Lucy, she lives all on her own. She drives a Beamer and has a mobile phone. I often wonder, does she ever feel alone? Oh, how must it feel to work yourself down to the bone? Your sister Lucy, she's shy and quite reserved. She's got the sweetest heart, sadly it's been hard. I never did I say those little charming words. I only said goodbye, cause they would be heard.
Because mine and Lucy's hearts have both been hurt. I woke up in her bed, my head was crying. Oh, I feel like my love is slowly dying. I left her apartment in the morning and began to walk towards the train station. And as I waited by the turnstiles with my rucksack and my shopping list clutched tightly in my right hand, I looked up and examined my surroundings, and in the eyes of every single passerby I saw your reflection. I saw the person you no longer wish to be. I saw the future and the past, and I saw every single timeline, every possibility, every universe where you didn't open the door and let him in. Every timeline where I'm the one in your kitchen making you breakfast. Every memory fusing with each other to create one everlasting moment. One moment to shape the rest, and to leave me clinging on helplessly for my life. All in vain, for I was moments from falling, but not into your arms this time.
I try to forget about it all. I'm facing a problem only 5'1" tall. I never thought I'd let myself slip under, but where's the storm without the thunder? I held a party for the first time in my life. The whole night I felt like I was being stabbed with a knife, repeatedly in both of my hands. And then I saw him ask you to dance. I'm crouching in the corner, I'm I never thought such silly things could ever make you feel so small. And last night I apologized for the times I let you down, and you just smiled at me and said, wallflower, there's no need to frown. The night was winding down, and I was feeling down and out. I never should have let you in, and now my patience is really running thin. I honestly thought that you would stay with me until the end, but you're nothing like your sister. You were honestly my friend. I'm crouching in the corner, I'm married to the wall. I never thought such silly things could ever make you feel so small. And last night I apologized for the times I let you down, and you just smiled at me and said, wallflower, there's no need to frown. Looking up to the sky, and my mind was flooded with many reasons why. You haven't let it go, and now it's getting hard for me to show my true intentions. I've never been this shy. Whatever is the matter with you, because lately it's been hard to get through, and mostly you just shut me off completely. Well, I'm only trying to be friendly. Oh, won't you dig me a grave and throw a ring of flowers to solidify my faith? How heavy is the burden of your empty words? And how long will it be before I can finally be heard? I get it now, I'll never be your number one. Oh, call me Icarus, 'cause I flew too close to the sun. words of love will never tell me. Oh, your empathy is nothing but a memory. Oh, won't you dig me a grave and throw a ring of flowers to solidify my fate? How heavy is the burden of your empty words? And how long will it be before I can finally be heard? I get it now, I'll never be your number one. Oh, call me Icarus, 'cause I flew too close to the sun.
Many days passed, and you only slipped further from my arms, falling down into a deep black abyss, juxtaposed by the purity of your soul, as white as snow, as white as that display of roses where you told me I could take on the world. On that day, their wedding day, the wedding with the runaway groom, too afraid to face his responsibilities. On that day, you told me lies, white lies, but still lies. And contrary to popular belief, white lies don't form other white lies. White lies form a mess. They know no limits. They don't care who you are, they go by their own terms and conditions. And they form the deep black abyss your tired body hurled down. For you were a pathological white liar. And as the days went by, the weeks went by, the months went by, and the years trailed on, and we ended up on that day in February of last year. I'd bought the girl some flowers. I'd searched for hours and hours to find her favourite flowers. They were roses. She knew they were cliché, but she didn't care. She didn't care about most clichés. She didn't care about what other people thought of her. She was unapologetically true to herself, but only herself, for she was capable of bending the truth that love is never blind. As much as you'd like to believe it, it's a harsh reality. Just like the truth that she never did really care, not just about clichés, but about everything. She didn't know how much that night changed me. She didn't know what she'd done. She didn't know when to slow it down, but most of all, she didn't know how much I loved her. She wouldn't ever know, and frankly, she probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. In her mind, in her eyes, and in her soul, that's just life. And in life you have winners and losers, and it's up to the winners to decide who the losers are. And you were never a loser, never even once. But the night rides on, carries on till sunrise, when the realisation that it was all just a fantasy hits you like a truck, or an illusion, a fabrication of the mind. But her mind was already made up. She was unfazed, unbothered. Again, she didn't know how much I loved her, and maybe I wish she did, for it might make the weight of the world a little heavier on her shoulders. It might make her think before she acts. It might make her limit her use of white lies in order to escape conviction. But one thing's for certain, she truly didn't know how much I loved her. But in retrospect, I'm almost glad that she didn't, for that truth may weigh on me, much more than a display of white roses ever could.